In the headlines, bandits kill one vigilante, abduct many in fresh Niger attack. Federal Executive Council approves 28.12 billion naira infrastructural projects for Wassa Abuja district. Flooding cut off Akwanga Lafia bridges in Nasarawa. Woman arrested in South Korea over deaths of 2 children in New Zealand. Hello and welcome. One vigilante has been killed while another sustained severe gunshot injuries when bandits in their numbers reportedly attacked Ebo community Lapai local government area of Niger State. Daily Trust gathered that several villagers were also abducted in a series of attacks on the surrounding communities. It is reported that bandits arrived the Ebo community at about 10:45 at night and went straight to the vigilante office, where they killed one of the vigilantes and shot another on the leg. The report said the attack came 4 days after the neighboring communities of Bada and Yaba border communities to the Federal Capital Territory were attacked, where one person lost his life while several residents fled their homes. Residents said attackers also raided Angwen Dajin Gwamna in Bada community and kidnapped 5 persons before moving to Zago village and Lafi and Zago, where they operated for hours. The bandits were said to have operated for about 5 hours and abducted over 10 people. Niger State Police Command DSP Wasu Abiodun could not be reached as at the time of filing this report. It has been 7 months since ASU began industrial action, which has crippled the already fragile education sector. The prolonged industrial action, however, had frustrated both parties involved. Neil Sampson reports that due to the failed negotiations, federal government has taken ASU to an industrial court to find resolution.
Pleas have been made by parents, students, and stakeholders in both the private and public sectors on the ongoing industrial action, but seem to have failed on FS as both parties are adamant. And with the recent development of dragging ASU to court by the federal government, it appears solution to these pending issues could be far-fetched, which can lead to more decay on the education sector. These and other reasons prompted a non-state actor, the AYGF, to organize a press conference urging both parties to come to a common ground so that the industrial action can come to an end. The Director General of the organization made this plea in a statement. He highlighted the negative effect of the strike on the students, parents, and the country at large. He said this will put a heavy burden on the already fragile education sector.
We owe the country the responsibility, the stakeholders the responsibility to be able to contribute to the process of resolving the ongoing ASU strike in the country. The strike is not helping, is not going to get our students the desired educational access. And so to that extent, it becomes incumbent and instructive for all the warring parties to come back to the negotiation table. Our students, our young people today are stranded. Some of them are already traumatized. Some of them are passing through a lot of emotional and psychosocial issues already because they have been left at home for so long. And they're already exposed, they're already vulnerable to all, challenges, antisocial, and even insecurity. The whole world is not going to wait for us because ASU in Nigeria is on strike. And Nigeria shouldn't be left behind in terms of development milestones, particularly in the education sector.
It is paramount for both parties to come to an amicable agreement before it is too late for the students. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has said the blockage of a section of the ever-busy Lagos-Ibadan Expressway by protesting students is a violation of the Constitution, which equally guarantees right to public protests. He said this Wednesday while fielding questions from State House reporters after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The protest on 7-month strike of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, by some members of the National Association of Nigerian Students after the Shagamu interchange section of the expressway towards Lagos on Tuesday had caused a gridlock that affected motorists and passengers. The minister said right to protest did not empower any Nigerian to inflict pain and inconvenience on other people. The Federal Executive Council has given the nod for the takeoff of the first stage in indigenizing vaccine production in Nigeria. Minister of Health Osagi Ohanire revealed this to newsmen at State House Abuja on Wednesday after the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council. Kainde Omodu reports.
The process of indigenizing vaccine production in Nigeria will start with routine doses administered under the standard program on immunization. To facilitate the process and acquire the necessary technology transfer, government is entering into a joint venture agreement and has formed the company that's called BioVaccine Nigeria Limited. The company's technical partner, which will help in setting up the vaccine production plant in Nigeria, is the Serum Institute of India.
But of course, the Serum Institute of India is the largest vaccine producer in the world, and also has vaccines that are approved by World Health Organization. So all other countries, including UNICEF, procure also from Serum Institute of India.
The key question, of course, is who will buy the vaccines produced by BioVaccine Nigeria Limited? How will government ensure that the company has a market share despite there being older, more established vaccine production plants?
Vaccines are not things you put on the shelf where people go and buy like Panadol. They have to be purchased by government, and they are supposed to be administered by government, by the Primary Healthcare Development Agency. So who will buy? So government now has approved 15% of the vaccines that UNICEF normally supplies us for BioVaccine to supply through contract manufacturing with the Serum Institute of India.
Away from vaccines, the Council of Ministers approved the revised estimated total cost of the contract for the provision of engineering infrastructure to Wasa Affordable Housing District in the Federal Capital Territory. The district has a total area of 367.11 hectares, and the new contract figure for the project is 85.04 billion naira.
With this argumentation, the completion period will now be 42 months, subject to availability of funding. And the district has a total area of 367 hectares. And if this infrastructure is done, it opens up the districts and allows all the plot allottees to be able to develop their plots, which obviously will also extend the development of the city to that part of the overall territory.
Meanwhile, the Cabinet on Wednesday approved the contract for the construction of internal roads and drainages in NCDM Gas Hub, located at Paluco in Bayelsa State. The gas hub is set up to encourage the development of companies that will process Nigeria's gas and deepen its use domestically. From State House, Abuja, Kainde Omodu, Trust TV News.
Absence of the counsel for Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and another in a suit challenging the legality of emergence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) stalled hearing on the matter at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday. Winfred Okoye had appeared at the last adjourned date on behalf of Governor Wike and Michael Akamon as plaintiffs in the suit, asking the court to declare as null and void the process that produced Atiku Abubakar at the party's national convention. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
PDP, INEC, Atiku Abubakar and Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal are joined as defendants in the matter. The plaintiffs are asking the court, amongst other applications, to declare as illegal the transfer of votes of Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal to Atiku Abubakar at the party's presidential primary early this year. At the resumed hearing Wednesday, the first plaintiff, Michael Akamon, told Justice Ahmed Mohammed that his counsel took ill and will require time to appear on the matter.
As the national legal advisor of the party, His Excellency actually discussed, and he told me that he never briefed anybody to file a matter on his behalf. And I believe him. I believe him. But up to now, if a lawyer is still coming to court, that means the lawyer is here to receive an instruction to withdraw the matter. And if a lawyer comes to court, file an action without instruction, Governor Wike is a lawyer. He knows what to do.
Though the defense counsels do not object the request, they drew the attention of the court to the need for a speedy dispensation of the case, which is a pre-election matter due to its peculiar timeline. The presiding judge, however, adjourned the matter to the 7th of October for hearing as he wished the plaintiff's counsel speedy recovery. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State says the only way out of the misunderstanding in the People's Democratic Party is for the national chairman of the party, Iyorchia Ayu, to resign. Makinde said this on Wednesday in Ibadan while speaking during an interactive session with the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, and chieftains of the party from the Southwest Zone. The governor noted that the PDP must restructure itself before it will restructure Nigeria. He maintained that one of the conditions to restructure the party and balance the equation is to choose the national chairman from the South, since the presidential candidate is from the North. A heavy rainfall that lasted for hours, accompanied by flash floods, have cut off half of the bridge that connected Nasarawa and Plateau states in Akwanga. This is coming barely 48 hours after the same heavy rain that caused flooding washed away half of the bridge on the expressway between Isa Mustafa Agwai Polytechnic and Bukansidi in Lafia, the state capital. The collapsed bridge near Jingjing Hotel in the heart of Akwanga is also used by motorists coming from Kaduna, Plateau, Bauchi, Gombe, amongst others who are heading to Abuja. According to reports, heavy-duty vehicles have been diverted to narrow streets, while the other half of the bridge that is still intact is used by smaller vehicles and motorcycles, which the village head described as a death trap. All efforts to speak with the Akwanga local government chairman failed. People living with disability have lent their voices to the need for the federal government to increase the number of people with special needs and the cash grants for vulnerable groups. They made the appeal at the launching of cash disbursement to 5,679 people on the Social Investment Program in Bauchi. Adamu Imam has the details.
The program is a federal government initiative aimed at reducing the financial burden on some vulnerable groups, especially among women across the country. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, affirmed that the program will reach identified beneficiaries across the country. Ilya Ismail and Princess Marcus are people with the special needs and beneficiaries of the program.
Usually, 5% is given to persons with disabilities in any employment, according to law that is establishing the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. But under this program, they allocated 15% to persons with disabilities, which is locally allowed among the beneficiaries. So we are very grateful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Life is very difficult to us. Things are very, very difficult. So with this, we support ourselves in terms of financial and health and some other things. So we're saying thank you, and we'll use this money in such a way that the benefits us will be used to us also.
Women who represent a larger percentage of the beneficiaries are positive that the interest-free loan will improve their social well-being.
We are also happy because it's help. They really help us so that we can establish something to be doing in this state. I pray that God will continue to strengthen them and bless them in the mighty name of Jesus.
More than 4,000 farmers, traders, and market women have received the loans under the second phase of the program known as JIP 2.0. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Oh, there you go. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. Rivers residents lament fuel scarcity. And details of this after the break. Do stay.
Which kind wire you gon' need to light up your light? Oh man, the quality wire. Now which kind cable you gon' need to light up your house? Oh man, the quality cable. Coleman quality. Coleman wire. Coleman durable. Coleman cable. Coleman can't. Coleman cable for any kind of project. Coleman be the come and see, come and see. Coleman be the Coleman won't light up your line. Coleman be the come and see. Coleman be the COLEMAN. Quality, quality. Do the bull. Coleman be the Baba.
That's great.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Our top stories. Bandits kill one vigilante, abduct many in fresh Niger attack. Federal Executive Council approves 28.12 billion naira infrastructure project for Wassa Abuja district. Moving on, there are indications prices of foodstuff in Adamawa would rise beyond comprehension if substantive agreement is not reached between state government, Amalgamated Union of Foodstuff and cattle dealers over imposed internal generated revenue on products in the state. The unions are protesting 5,000 naira per cow and 300 naira per bag of grain imposed on them by the state governor Ahmad Umar Fintiri. Silas Lawa has the details of this report.
A release from Adamawa State Board of Internal Revenue indicated that the state government has increased the revenue for cattle from 200 naira to 5,000 naira, while a bag of grain, which was 20 naira, is now increased to 300 naira. Other animals are horses and donkeys from 500 naira to 10,000 naira. The release also indicated that revenue to be paid for sheep, cows and pigs, which was 100 naira, has been increased to 500 naira. This development has shaken the three major cattle markets and most of the grassroots markets in Adamawa, as many see it as an anti-people initiative.
This 5,000 naira, we cannot accept. We cannot agree to this. This is very high, like it's set off for our business. He need to destroy our business completely, totally. We cannot accept like that. This is destroying, is set off. This is set off for this illegality increasing. Increasing from 200 naira. We're increasing 300 naira. It's okay. This is our stand. If the government never accept like that, we cannot agree to accept to increasing anything from this.
This decision that Adamawa State has been taking, it will not. There's no any businessman that can survive on it. There's no any cattle dealer that can do this and survive again and continue and handle the business again. It can be. If not, we're going to disassociate the Adamawa State government from our business at all. We'll pack to everywhere in this country and do our business. There's many different types of states that has the cattle and they are inviting us.
This development has led to the death of many cows whose worth is in millions of naira. According to the union's leadership, they said they cannot continue to see their members suffer in silence.
We gathered here to show our grievances. Paying 5,000 naira as a revenue per cow is not possible, and we cannot afford it. We are urging the state governor to review this law for the betterment of all.
It's been a week now that we have not traded our products. The government promised to renovate the market and nothing has been done yet. We had a meeting with the government delegation where we urged them to forget about the issue of clearance on the road. Rather, they should concentrate on collecting their revenue. Today is the 7th day that our people are still in custody of their products. without marketing them, of which such has caused huge loss. So this is the reason why we decided to call on our people from different locations here in order to forward our complaints. We are pleading with the government to look into the matter.
Stakeholders believed reviewing the new IGR law will go a long way towards solving the soaring revenue crisis between state government and the unions. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
Motorists and residents in Port Harcourt have appealed to government at all levels and relevant authorities to find out the root cause of continuous rise in price and scarcity of petroleum products in rivers. They made the call as residents buy fuel at 250 naira per litre. The report.
Some residents who were on queue to purchase petroleum product at the NNPC in Port Harcourt town complained that they have stayed so long without any hope of getting the fuel, while some who could not bear the queue are patronizing the black market where prices are exorbitant. They urged the government to, as a matter of urgency, intervene as all economic activities are beginning to be halted due to fuel scarcity. They called on the government to also resolve the pending issues between security operatives on highways and petroleum tanker drivers who were said to have parked their vehicles by the roadside along Aba Road for over a week now. The tanker drivers complain of how the security operatives have been allegedly extorting money from them.
It's 5:30 in the morning. We are on this queue trying to get fuel. Before yesterday, I bought it at the rate of 200 naira at Oliozu. But there is fuel, and they are holding this fuel because of the issues they are passing through. Whenever they want to load, they are paying excess money to the security agent, which is affecting their product. And we, the masses, are feeling the heat. Not even then, the masses are feeling the heat.
Just because day before yesterday, we started hearing about the fuel price will increase. Yesterday, I bought it from Air Force, 250 naira per litre. It's very bad, and I'm a commercial driver. I find it difficult to make it because I bought for a very high price.
It's very bad for what they are doing to us, and the election is coming. All these things we're supposed to have them free. We're not supposed to suffer before we have common fuel. And this is one of the important things in life that the common need to have. So what we are saying is, let them release this thing anywhere they are keeping it.
The government are not helping matter. Instead of them to make things to be easy for the masses, instead of us to go front, we are going backward every time. We will not hear that we are going forward. We are going backward.
It's getting out of hand. Like, see, we have been in hold up since, not because of the don't want to be poor, but because of the fuel scarcity. Even the fuel station has been filled, and still yes, nobody has been able to get fuel. We are still waiting. And the price of the fuel has increased. In fuel station, we do buy fuel now 200, 300. Outside black market, are telling us 500. No, we need help. We need help from federal government. Let them look into this matter.
As at the time of filing this report, most petroleum fuel stations in Port Harcourt were closed, and those open have long queue.
And on the foreign scene, police in South Korea have arrested a woman believed to be the mother of 2 children whose bodies were found in abandoned suitcases in New Zealand last month. The National Police Agency said the Korean-born New Zealander, who has been charged with murder, was taken into custody in the southeastern city of Ulsan on Thursday after global agency Interpol issued a red notice. The woman is suspected of fleeing to South Korea in 2018 after killing her then 7-year-old and 10-year-old children in Auckland, authorities said. New Zealand police launched a homicide inquiry in Auckland last month after the remains of the children were found by a family member going through the contents of a storage locker they had purchased. And in sports, ahead of the second leg of CAF Confederation Cup, the advanced team of AS FAR of Morocco has arrived in Ikene, Ogun State. The advanced team touched down in Ikene on Wednesday. The Moroccan side will hope to secure a favorable result against Nigeria's representative Remo Stars after they failed to win at home in the first leg. The Sky Blue Boys proved bookmakers wrong by securing a 1-1 draw in Rabat. The second leg game is slated for Remo Star Stadium on Sunday, with both teams requiring an outright victory to progress to the next round of the qualifier. And that's it on news updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.